Alright, we might as well start. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well tonight. We are joined here today with Socks. Here. There she is. I don't walk away. Alright. Anyway, hopefully everyone's going well. Tonight we're moving on to the documentation. The documents and let me just get everything up and running. Okay, run dev. Get this up and running. Let's open up a new tab. Let's go into localhost. Ooh, we've got to log in. Put that over there. I've just clicked on the wrong thing. Let's go into a project. Yeah, let's just go into this project. We're working on this documentation. So, we've just got to essentially do all the backend API. So that will be all the CRUD. So if I go over here, where did I put my... Excuse me 1 second. So the create, we'll have the read, have the update, we'll have the delete. So what do we need to create? We'll need, we'll need to actually, well, the create will be also the upload, but we'll need to create the folder, the link, and the upload. Easy done. The read will be all in a single call. Once again, easy done. It'll be, I think, split into two. And then the update will be updating folders. Pretty much all. Links. And upload. So one example of that is when we want to move a folder or a file or something like that, or we rename stuff. Is done. And then the delete. I'm just going to put all. Once again, that will be separated out into all its components. So we're going to go in here. Luckily for me, I've actually started creating the services and stuff like that. So I'm just going to actually copy this. I'm going to paste this. We actually have one that's going to be folder service. There we go. Folder CRUD operations. The get list might not implement because we'll have that at the document level. However, when we want to create folders, we want to update folders, or we want to delete folders, we can actually do that here. It just separates out that sort of logic from... sorry, my brain's just gone. It separates out that logic from the other components. I did click on live chat. All right, cool. However, the document itself, technically, it is both a document or a link. That will be just handled in one spot. That's pretty easy. All right, so let's get back into it. We'll get all this done shortly. Oh, I need to actually turn on my Minio. There we go. That's the reason for turning it on. Hopefully we will be able to upload stuff to it today, which will be nice. I should also get up the old code. which is all stuffed into the views. Might be that one. Document. Where am I? No, not that one. No, it's not that one. Oh, hang on. It's not part of the API. We never made it part of the API. There it is. So a lot of this is going to get ported over. It's not exactly a one-to-one, but fairly close enough. So, for example, when we add in a folder, essentially it's pretty much this. Let's start off with adding a folder. Now, straight off the bat, we won't actually have a form called that. What we're going to do is we're going to have serializer equals folder serializer. And we go data equals request.data. Yep, we all know that. We do need to import this. Then we need to check it. So if serializer, if not, very important. Yeah, we're going to return with errors and stuff like that. We do need to import all of that, and I like to shift things like this so it's more readable. Hey. And that should import that easily. All right, so those are just replacing those old bits of code. Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna. The next thing is we need to submit the folder. This is pretty easy. So folder submit folder, and then we get, all right, cool. We just need to import that, which, yep, we just do that. Folder description. Oh, I don't know if it's called folder description anymore. It's just description and parent folder. So, description. It's not that. Definitely not that. There we go, it's that. And then parent folder is going to be that. And then what we want to do is we want to pass through this is self.destination underscore ID. Location ID. So yeah, we're just passing through that. That's handled that. And then that's pretty much it. The folder, submit, save. We've got the change user. Oh, it's not just change user, it's also creation user. No, once again, it's just that. And then we just return back the folder which we've just created, which shouldn't be hard to do. Off. Return data. So serializer equals folder. Folder submit. Yep, we're happy with that. Yep, and that's it. Easy. Yeah, so very, very similar to how it was done before, except this time instead of using forms, we're using the serializers. Just to double check all that data coming through with the API and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. We will need to test it for this because there will be some cases where nothing gets returned. That's fine. In those sort of cases, yeah, we don't need to worry about that. The worst case scenario, we might need to pull that out and do a null check on it to be like, hey, if this is null, then you know what to do. Alright, so document add link. Now this is going to be on something else. We have actually separated out here. So it might be one of those sort of cases where we want to separate out the links themselves. Now it does, damn it, it does create something like that. All right. We got list files. We must have an upload somewhere in here. It's an internal function. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. New object upload. Yeah, that gets the files and everything like that. Clean data, document description. Yep, should do. And then handle document permissions. Yep, that's perfectly fine. JSON results. All right. Come back to that one. Yep, let's just get the file handler. That's the delete. That's the upload. This is the Azure file handler. Yeah, I had to do things differently. All right. Sorry, it's been a very long time since I've actually touched this one file because it's been working. When was it last touched? Last year. All right. We have the local file handler. We have a file handler. Yep. All right. Cool. We got an S3 file handler because how it gets uploaded is done differently. All right. Not a problem because these can be extracted out into their own little classes, and yeah, I'll be fine with that. I think you're. Oh. So we don't add folder. We might as well do the links then. If I'm separating out, I've just put this in the document service. All right. And then I just need to copy a few of those in. Like that. Easy done. All right, so there's the folder service. With the folder delete, we'll have a folder ID passing through. Get list. Leave it in here for the moment. Yeah, we'll leave that in there for the moment. Oh. We've got folder object ID. All right. But I need the request. The reason why I need the request is I need to actually specify who did the deletion. That's all. Give me a couple of seconds. Let's go back into here. Let's go delete. All right, cool. This is abstracted method. Who's using this? Okay, so we got it for the document service, folder service, linked list. Oh, there's update. Where's delete? There it is. All right. Yeah, we'll need request. Easy done. And then down here, what we've got to do, change user equals request.user. Yeah, we're just stating who's made that change. Oh, that's in the filter. Oops. And yeah, I just got to do that now at this abstraction level. So we'll have the request. Oops. Easy done. I do need to also change it here. So I do need to go in here. And do that. So it passes through the requests. That's just to say who's deleted stuff, and we're all happy with that. All right, so the next thing I want to do close some of these tabs. I do want to continue on with this one. Note service. Yeah, I need to put through that. Change user equals request.user. Yep, sweet. We're just got to go. Notes create, note delete in here. We're just going to go request. Like so. And that's just going to be delete. Fixing things up. All right. That's why we're doing a vertical slice first. Just makes this a lot easier. If I implemented everything and I need to implement that fix. I got to implement it everywhere. Whereas if I get it perfect this time, I'm just copying and pasting. All right, cool. So I'm happy with that. Let's go back down to here. All right, with the delete functionality. So very similar with everything else. What we want to do is I should bring up those other. So we'll go down here. So very much similar to here, what we want to do is we want to find it, make sure that we are deleting the right thing. If not, we want to actually send back a false and actually notify the end user, hey, this doesn't exist, I think you got something wrong. Instead of being like, yeah, deletion. All right, so in here, what we want to do is we want to go method to delete a folder. All right, cool. We go folder equals folder dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false. We've got the pk equals folder ID. That passes through perfectly fine. We'll also we do set that. So I'm going to use it. And hi, Super Biloda. I'm terrible with new names. Welcome, welcome. I hope you are having a good time. How's your day been? Alright, so if there are no values to update, identify user, easy done. So if the length of folder is 0, we just return false. That's all we need to do. Otherwise, we want to soft delete the data. And that will be folder dot update change user equals request user, easy done, and then is deleted equals true, and that's it. And then all I need to do is return true. Cool. Anyone wants to collaborate and work with some new project? I've got a cool idea. Can we work around? I've got way too much on my plate. Sorry. All right. So it's all done. It's all done. Update will be pretty much the same. Yeah, we serialize all that stuff. Now we've got object ID there. That really should be folder ID, like so. So method to update a folder. Serializer equals folder serializer data. Yeah, if not serialize valid, return serializer dot errors and false. I've realized up here I've done that by mistake. Where it should be that. Because this is a service. So yeah. So I'm refactoring NearBeach. NearBeach is an open source project management system. Currently there's not much to look at the refactor side of things. We're just working on the project, getting those services up and done. Once all of this is done, the good news is a lot of it's going to be copy and pasted for the other different places. But yeah, the idea is you can have your own Kanban board. You can gather user requirements and break them down into requirement items. You can, from there, create projects and tasks. And when you're ready to deploy, you've got a request for change. So yeah. we've got to check folder exists in here. So that's just going to be folder equals folder.filter is deleted equals false. We're going to go pk equals folder ID. We really should keep in kpk, but that's perfectly fine. Making sure our destination location matched up with the correct folder. From there, if object, sorry, this should be just folder. If folder is none, we just return folder object does not exist. And we just go false. Cool, easy done. Yeah, we just got to update. Actually, we can do it this way. Now, I'm just having a quick think. If description, for example, we can call this process if we drag a folder into another folder and we're only updating the parent. I've also got to think about how people would use the API. And there might be times where they might not put in a description for the folder, they just update the parent ID and vice versa and stuff like that. So I've got to think here, what am I doing? I can do it to the ternary. Which might be easier to do. ID won't be needed, so ID equals serial intro alert. That's only read only. That's perfectly fine. I prefer it like that. So I'm gonna have to make these optional, which is fine. Ooh, parent folder. It's a foreign key. Yeah, I want that as an int. All right, where's my... Yeah, I want that. All right, cool. So required false, that's perfectly fine. And then if we go into here, this is where I need to look up Python ternaries. So I always get this wrong with Python. Alright, folder.description equals something that's going to be true. We'll just go folder.description if description is none, else description. Yeah, perfect. I mean, it doesn't really look that crash out, but it works. We're going to do the same thing with folder.parent folder equals parent folder.parent folder. If If parent folder is none, all right, cool. Yep. And then we're just going to go folder.save. Then we serialize. And we just return serializer and then true. We don't actually need to send the data up because we'll be doing that at the bottom. Yeah, we'll be doing that at the bottom. All right. That's a query set. Shoot. Done. All right. So the get list. We don't need it. We're going to get rid of that. So we've got the create, got the delete, and we've got the update. All right. So that's pretty much it for the folder. Document's going to be very, very similar. Just got to figure out what we're doing with the links. Are we going to separate the links out? It does look like it that we've done it here. In which case, then yeah, I do want to keep that sort of in place. List files, yeah. Oh, the folder, yeah. Document remove. But that can also be a link. It's been such a long time since I've actually touched this. All right. Yeah, we've got remove folder. Yeah, we've got that. Document update document. Yeah, cool. Sorry. All right. Oh, back on. There's only 700 things in here, that should be fine. Seg method, upload. Yep. Def upload. Alright, yep. So where am I calling this? Where am I calling this? All right. I think I know what's happening here. We've got a file handler. We've got a global file. All right. And this is looking promising. So private download file, cool, sweet. So that's one of the places. This is the upload. There we go. So handle document permissions. Sweet. So I need a global file handler. needs to be that by default. And we do the get file handler. I'm remembering how this all connects. And I'm trying to think how we're going to get this to work with the new API. I wonder how long I can last tonight. I do want to get as much of this done as possible. But this is a blocker. I need to actually get this file handler done. So what the file handler does is we've got a couple of options when uploading files. Or files in general. So, file handler. Alright, so we've got AWS. This is S3/Minio. We've got Azure blobs. And we've got local file system. Which we kind of don't want. We want people to use these too. For a few reasons why. Oops. Okay there, socks. So, if I go back to this code, I can close that tab now. I can set the file handler in here. But at the same time, it's a very specific class. I've already knitted this. I'm just thinking of the better way of doing this. And do we want to separate out the link? It looks like I have separated out the link completely, which will be fine. Creating the folder is fine. We're not actually uploading anything to the folder. Creating the links won't create anything, upload anything. It's only when we're dealing with the upload of files. And the document list, because actually, no, the document list, we don't need anything. Yeah, it's in specific cases that I need to worry about the handling of the stuff. All right. We're going to do the add link. I'm going to separate this out. So I'm going to do very similar to what we did with the folder service. Why is that throwing up an issue? We don't need that for anything else. Yeah, so you don't need it there. what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this document service. I am going to call it link service. We're going to search for service in here. We delete before. Go link service. There we go. Everything's sort of done. You're also creating a job portal. Fair enough. Welcome, welcome. This is a project management system, a bit different to job portal. Unless you're talking not a job as in like trying to get a new job type portal. All right, link CRUD operations. So I can close that for a minute. Folder service. I'll just put that over there. So in here, what we want to do is we're just copying what we did before because it's going to be very, very similar. The business logic is kind of there. It's just the technology behind it is different. So we've got the serializer equals, and this is going to be a link serializer. We're going to pass through that. If not serializer is valid, we want to return. We want to go serializer.errors and then false. That's pretty much it. So those are those old lines there. Now we want to submit it. So we're going to there we go. We're going to import that. We're going to go description equals, now it's not request data dot description, it's serializer dot not data, it's validated data. And then we've got the URL location equals serializer validated data, it's just all that. We've got the change user, we should also have the creation user equals request dot that. All right, cool. That's pretty stock standard there. We now need to do the document permissions. They'll have the change user. We'll also have the creation user nowadays. We'll have the document key, and then we'll have the parent folder. So that will be now that. What if we tech stack server side user Hibernate. I've never heard of Hibernate. Server-side UI Thymeleaf. I've never used Thymeleaf before. Backend Spring Boot. JP plus Hibernate. Okay, fair enough. How is it going? All right, we'll do folder equals, and then we got serializer validated. It's not going to be that. We're passing through parent folder. We might as well keep it like that. And then the document set form destination. That's an old way we used to do stuff, but we just got to get self.destination ID. I spelled that wrong. And then self.location. And then it's just saving that. These might change, but we won't worry about that just yet. We'll hit that issue when we get to it. I feel like... Sorry, that took off everything. I was going to actually just take off that. I feel like it's going to be that now. We don't need to deal with any of this. What we need to do is... we need to serialize the document results. Many won't be true. And then return, so return serializer and true. And that's pretty much it. Yes, which is why I'm using Django. So Django will handle all of that for me. I don't need to rewrite that wheel, nor do I want to rewrite that wheel and take responsibility for it. So hence I'm using Django. Yeah. All right, delete. Delete's going to be very similar to the folder sort of delete stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy that. Instead of folder, of course. Oh, I've got folder serializer there. Link serializer. All right, so this should be link. We just go delete before, type in link. Oh no, this will be document. Dot object. This will be delete before. We want to go documents. This goes all throughout here. This will be delete end, and we go document ID like that. We're making sure that the destinations match up. Delete before. What we call document. Delete before. Oops. Document. I can delete that one. Extra line. And then just return true. All right, cool. Using Spring Security with JWS token spice. Oh, very hard. Okay. I've never used Spring Security. So, yeah. All right, an update with the links. Ooh, it's one of those things that yeah, you can move the link around, so yeah, it'll be updated and stuff like that. And what we're going to do is it's going to be very, very similar to that one, except now link serializer, link serializer. All right, okay, cool. Delete for 4. That would be called document. Delete before. That would be lowercase document. That really should be called document ID. All right, cool. Then down here, we want to delete that, and we go document. Easy done. Now I've got a problem. No, the thing just needed catching up. This is the section we've got to deal with. However, the link serializer will have different fields, so I'm going to put this on to the right just for reference. Read only required, so object ID required, object relation. Yes, it's link serializer. Shoot, not the serializer I want. It should be document link serializer. Let me just have a look. Oh, it's just going to be document serializer. Oh, all right. I'm overcomplicating stuff when it doesn't need to be. Long day at work. Document serializer. All right, cool. That's going to complain. We're just going to end into that. We're just going to import it. Cool. And we're just going to do that. All right, sweet. Cool. So what comes through? I should delete that from the other one. We'll need a description, so that stays the same. Or the folder. Just realized that there's a naming mismatch. That should be folder. And that should be folder. All right, cool. That will be fine like that. We've got URL location. Description, URL location, and folder. Cool. That's all we need. I then just delete all of those, and I want to go document dot description equals description if description is none, else description. That doesn't make any sense. I need to actually put the document.description down here. All right, cool. Folder description equals folder description. Sorry, not folder. Excuse my French. Document folder equals document.folder if folder is known else folder. All right, cool. And then document URL location equals document URL, all of that, and then document.save. All right. I will be running so many unit tests through this, it won't be funny. So that's our CRUD for this. So we've done the folder, we've done that one. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to close all tabs at the moment. I just need to do that. Where am I going? I'm going to Views, API. No, Services. There you go. And then we've got the document service. I might put all of these. This needs to be called document link service. Yeah. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move them all under document. So yeah, that's linked list service. That's separate. Node service is separate. But the fact is that these are all sort of related. I want to combine them into one place. So that way it doesn't get confusing later on when I go document link service, link service and stuff like that. Because document links are like URLs, they're links to the documents. Whereas link services is links between the NearBeach objects. So yeah, I want to make sure that's okay. All right. All right, but let's go back to document services. Now, for the create, we'll need to actually set up the what we want to handle the upload, where it's getting uploaded and all that kind of stuff. So we'll draw that out next. The delete will be the same thing too. Once again, we're soft deleting stuff in here. Actually, no, it's soft deleting. It's all database. So we can do the soft delete stuff, not a problem. The get list we can do, and the update we can do. So the update will only be for, let's say, the name or where the folder is going and stuff like that. So if you move it to a different folder, it'll update that folder. Pretty easy stuff. If you change the name, it'll update the name. So, yeah. All right. First things first, let's not worry about the create. We can easily get the delete done. And just we've got to remove folder. Document remove. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're copying this for a reason. Because the business logic is there. So instead of using the forms, once again, serializer equals document serializer. We go through there. If not, serializer is valid. Return serializer.errors and false is done. That just, yeah. So that gets rid of these 4 lines. So document update equals. We don't have oh yeah, we're not doing the date modified anywhere. Oh shoot. Because, yeah, the idea being is having the date modified tells the user when a change actually has happened. And I've absolutely and utterly forgot to put it in all of my API requests. And now I'm kicking myself. Shoot. All right, that's going to be bugged to actually check for that. I'm not doing that now. We'll log that in. No, I don't want a new dashboard. No, go away. New issue. All right. All right. Currently with the API, we are not setting the modification date for any of the objects. We'll need to search the code and implement the modification date when there is an update or a deletion. All right, cool. It's pretty normal. The system will run without it being affected or anything like that. This isn't part of Welk. This is part of NearBeach application. This is part of the subsystem API. 0.32. So we get that fixed with the 0.32. Easy done. It's not much of a bug, but we can get it done. We can get it fixed. So Yeah, we've done things a little bit differently here. We do a little bit of checking first, and then we set the whole thing off, and alright, cool. Check to make sure data exists. Easy done. This will be document equals document.objects.filter is deleted equals false. PK equals document ID. I got a scratchy eye. Self.destination underscore ID, location ID, all the fun stuff. Oops. If length of document equals, oops, sorry, right, too many. Return object, document object does not exist. And then we just go false. Cool, we're happy with that. From here, what we want to do, document dot, do we have an update where we go, this might be a better way of doing, cool, yep. Yep. I've mucked this up. It should be then we had the problem with the time zone. Shoot. That's why we used to use time zone. Alright, let's have a look. Alright, cool. Yeah, I was importing the wrong thing. Delete that. It's fine. Import that. We'll link this out a little bit better. We'll scroll down to where we're broken at timezone.now. We're fine with that. Oh. Alright, so we've got change user, we've got modification date now, and we've got to set the as deleted. Alright, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we've got to update this one too. Oh. That's all of that. Anyway, what are we doing here? Document permission updated, deleted, date modified, time zone now, save. So we're deleting all of that. where what we want to do in equals document dot values, and we just go document key, and then that should work. That'll be fine. There'll only be one in there anyway. I'm going to do all that. In this sort of case, we've got to get here. What we can do is we can do a filter, and then we can just do a simple update. We can go is deleted equals true. Date modified times out now, and that just saves everything like that. And then all we need to return back is just a simple true, because we'll be happy with that. We'll be like, in fact, it should actually be none and true. And in fact, I can piss that off. So it's going to get rid of both the document permission and the document itself. Now, with NearBeach, we do have the functionality for old data cleanup. So let's say after 6 months, you want to sort of make sure the database doesn't keep growing and so forth like that with old deleted data. It'll come through and be like, oh, cool, these records are really old. I'm just going to purge them out of the system. And that's why we've got to do both the document and the document permissions. So yeah, pretty easy. As for the update should be pretty stock standard. So once again, we just go into here. There's part of document equals document dot object dot sorry, not object. Sorry, this should be the document serializer. Request data if not document equals valid. Return false. All right, cool. And once again, that gets rid of those lines. Document permission. This will be filtering for the object ID. We shouldn't use object ID. I'm going to use document ID for the moment. That should be self. In fact, that should be in an F string. And then in this sort of case, we could add in the rename functionality. So I'm just gonna do that. And then what we want to do, if just realize that should be serializer. And then that should be document return, document object doesn't exist, yada, yada, yada. All right, cool. Now, oh, fuck off. Did I tell you to put shit there? No. Sorry, excuse my French. I hate when that just decides to just put in random code in a place which should not have random code. Alright, if document is none, we're just past all that. Now we're just going to do the update for the document. So document, actually, we need to update the document. In this sort of case, once again, I'm just opening up this just to put that over there. We'll have the description equals the serializer.validated.data.description, and we'll have the folder equals serializer.validated.data folder. Easy, done. Then what we got to do, document.description equals document.description if description description is none else description. All right, cool. Document.folder equals document.folder if folder is none else folder. All right, cool. And then we just go document.save. And then we just go return none true. Actually, we want to serialize this. Yeah, we want to serialize this. The idea is we send back the data as confirmation to the user. Document serializer document, and then we go down here and we go serializer. And the reason why we don't do that for the delete is because the data doesn't exist anymore. We're just going to go content not there. Coolio. Good luck next time. And hi, Sesmoff. Yes, it is. It is Django. We also use VueJS for the front end. Currently, at the moment, I'm using the Django REST framework to set up the API. So we're hoping to at least get the documents API in a somewhat functional state. Get it to the point where I can sort of test it and start putting in unit tests and so forth like that. Hopefully it'll be a lot quicker than the link object, which took me way too long. I was not happy that it took me that long, but yeah. All right. Well, Socks is falling asleep. Why are you falling asleep? She's like, no, don't touch me. Alright, so going in here, I can clean up some of this now. Easy done. We'll still got to get the crate sorted, but once again, I want to map that out properly. But otherwise, the update for the document and the delete of the document should be perfectly fine. Alright, so with the get list, now this is going to be somewhat different. So we're not going to separate out the document, the links, and the folders into three different requests. I think that's a bit silly for the user. So we're going to have one request in here. Do I believe in Jesus? Not really. Sorry. So, yeah. Now, I have a... No, those are all fine. I'm trying to actually find the serializers. Sorry, they're up here under documentation. I've got a file serializer. So in here, we'll have documents, we'll have folders, and we'll have max folder size. So we've got 3 bits of key information that I've got to put in here. It should be easy. There's 2 database calls that are called to the settings. Pretty easy stuff. Okay. I'm not a very religious person. Sorry. All right. So we've got document remove, we've got document update. We've got this get max upload. We're just going to copy this. This can actually become part of an internal function here. It's we're going to do an underscore. We can leave that like that. That's perfectly fine. We just need to pass through settings. And that's it. That's all we need to do. Is this reaching the self? No. So this can be a static method. In fact, it can be that. We won't need that. We won't need that. All right. So we just need to really do settings. Once again, this is old code, which we're just refactoring, so we can just copy from here. Where did I declare settings? I forgot. There we go. Django config. Actually, technically. There we go. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Now, this is throwing up an expected... Oh, alright, cool. So, we've got one piece of the puzzle. Oh, sorry, I should go back here. So, oops, wrong one. File system serializer. There we go. We've got one piece of the puzzle. That's just an integer field. Great. That's easy to set. I just need to do a quick query for the folders and a quick query for the documentation. It's pretty easy to do. Once again, we could just copy and paste the code from down here. Private download file, no. Get max upload, no. Document upload, no. Document update folder, no. Document update document, no. Document remove folder, no. Remove, no. Document list folders. So this is it. We're just going to put this in here temporary. Once again, we'll come back to it. Should be then list files, which should also include the links themselves. Because we don't just, yeah, we don't care if it is a URL link or an uploaded link. Sorry, an uploaded document. They're referenced in the same table. It's just folders are in a different table. So as you can see, folder results, folder results, all right, cool. We can get that and put that into there, and then we can serialize all of that. Now we don't need these 3 lines at all. And then this one's the same. Once again, we can put this within here. We just need to match this up. We also just need to do the same thing with the folders, but that's not a problem. And then, yeah, it's just all of this. Easy done. All right, cool. So what I want to do, I want to do that. And then that's finally actually guessed that correctly for the very first time. We also want to go values. I'm just going to open up the folder serializer. I'm just going to put that off to the side. The reason being is I can just copy and paste the names. So we'll have an ID. We'll have the description. And we'll have the parent folder. Ooh. I'll keep it as parent folder. I have a feeling I'm going to need to use the parent folder ID, but once again, we'll test this out once we get this all connected up. It's an easy change. We just change it in the fields and over here. It'll take us not that long at all. That should be values. So that should pass all the way through, and I'm just wondering if I could probably skip that out. Fetch required data. So document permission results gets all the documents. We need to filter that for what we want. So we just go in here, we add in that line of code, which gets rid of these lovely lines of code. We're just gonna I'm just gonna do that. Document results, folder results. And then what we need to do, this will be the not the folder serializer, sorry, this will be the file system serializer. We won't have many equals true, but in here what we've got is an object which will need the folder. It's going to be the folder results, the document. I'm just double checking that I've got this correct. Documents, sorry, plural. That will definitely cause a headache. And then what we have is max upload size, and that's going to be self-get max upload size, and that's pretty much what we need. Yeah, that's imported like there, and then what we want to do, so we just want to do that. We know it's going to pass, hopefully. Yeah, that should be it. All right. I think this is ready for ready for testing now. Let's hook it all up. We're only going to hook up small parts of it at the moment. We'll go through and hook up the rest a little bit later. I just want to test a few things out first before going hungo and connecting all up and being like, is this working? But it isn't really. All right, so we need to go into NearBeach. We need to go into the URLs. We need to go into, now this is going to be a public URL. This is going to be part of the project, so the project view set. So we've got all of this. Notice how we've got linked lists in here and all that kind of fun stuff. Minimum permission level 1 at action methods equals a simple get command. Detail equals true. URL path is going to be I'm just wondering if I want to keep that plural. We got linked list here. Got linked list there. Documents kind of implies that, yes, it's going to be plural. What I'm going to do, documents, we've got a self. We'll need a request. We won't need anything else. And then very similar to down here, what we want to do is we want to go document service equals document service, but we pass through the destination equals project, easy done, location ID equals, ooh, we need the PK, that. All right, so we'll need the PK. I can't type. Document service, get list. We're passing through that. Yep, perfectly fine. I can't spell whatsoever. There we go. And then we just return the response. Data equals serialized data. All right, cool. Yeah. That's a very, very small controller. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, neck's uncomfortable. All right. Let's see if this works. So we're going to localhost API. We're going to go version 1. We're just going to go project 1 for the moment. So that's still working. All right. I knew it was going to be broken. What type of car was that? All right. Cannot resolve document key. Choices are, we've got document ID. So I just got to search for that document key. I believe it'll be just in the service. Maybe not. Maybe I just spelt everything wrong. Let's try that again. Yeah. Unsupported lookup, document upload successful. Ooh, all right. We'll look through the model to actually get to that one. All right, cool. There's a lot of. We're gonna have to actually look through the models. So we've got ID, we've got document. We no longer have key. That's big auto. That's new object. Nah. All right, cool. So there's our document permissions. So yeah, that should be document like that. I'm just having a look for plain old good old document. There's our document serialized. There's our document object. I'm going to also put that over there for reference. I've renamed all the fields and stuff like that. So I've just got to refactor that into here, which is why it's going to take me a while. So the folder, and we know it passes the folder. Passes that flying colors. All right. It's right here that it doesn't like, which, hey, we understand. So we've got document permission. In document permission, we're looking for is deleted, is profile picture false. We've got the destination location ID like that. I'm just checking. Yep, that works perfectly fine. Now it's document under, so that goes under, that goes into document itself. We've got something called document upload successfully. That's been renamed to just upload successfully. Like that. All right, cool. So now down here, we've got the document key ID. That has just been changed to document, I believe. Which also means those have changed, but also means that has changed because now it's description URL, and I do have document in there. All right, no, that's fine. The document's staying the same, and then we got folder. Int argument must be string, a byte light object, not a dict. No. Not my mum. Sorry, terrible joke. Int argument must be a string, byte light code. Alright, so my guess is it's hitting here. Which it is, and then it's failing here. Yeah, alright, cool. I'm just going to hit play. We should be... that's what I'm doing. Alright. Oh, in reality... It's just that. And there we go. Now, we don't have anything uploaded here. But the max upload size seems a bit small. Considering if I go up here, max upload file size. All right, I might not have said it. All right, cool. I haven't said it, and that's perfectly fine. It comes back to 0. We're like, yep, cool, sweet. We don't have any documents, nor do we have any folders. That might be because I don't have the back end for this, do I? No, I don't. So we're going to have to go through the good old database. All right, we just jump into here. What we want to do is we've got document. I'm just going to go view data. We've got 2 documents uploaded. They're just URL locations. That's perfectly fine. I need to have a look at the document permissions. That should be project 1 and project 2. All right. We are on project 1. I don't see anything deleted. So, we're going to have a look at the code. We're just going to hit refresh again. Cry a little because we put that breakpoint in the wrong spot. All right, we've got destination, project, location ID being 1. Easy done. We're just going to scoot on forward. I'm just going to hit the serializer and I'm just going to be like, boop. We're going to hover over this. We've got a query set of nothing. All right, cool. Well, not cool. We're trying to be professional here. We've got all of this. Sorry, I'm just splitting this out for you guys. I mean, in reality, oh, uploaded successfully. No. All right, that's why. We're just going to change that both to true. We're just going to apply the pretty easy sort of thing. We're just going to hit play. We're going to get rid of that breakpoint and just hit play a couple of times. Oh, got key error when attempting to find value description on... more problems. No problem. Got key error when attempting to get a value for field description on serializer document. Serializer. The serializer field might be named incorrectly and does not match any attribute. Okay, original exception was description. All right. I'm just going to run this. We've got document description, document. All right, we need to go back here, and we just need to delete this. Oh no, that should be. Oh, I know what to do. Oh, this is. No, I know what to do. Shoot. The problem is document already exists. I can't have document. Yeah. So I've just got to think about this a little. What I could do, instead of having it at the document definition level, I still run that. I then do another one at document level where I got the fields that I want, and I just key out all the key information that I need. because then I can bring in the folder stuff from that, and there is that connection. And I've done it before. All right, not a problem for the moment. So this is kind of working. We don't have a folder null. That's perfectly fine. We don't care. It just means it's going to be at the root level. We don't have the document itself. So I'm going to hit this. I'm just going to hit run. We're going to hit this. I'm going to hover over this. I'm going to expand it, and I'm going to right-hand click, and I'm going to copy value. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to hit play. We're going to go back here. We're just going to paste it in, and we're just going to run it. Easy done. The problem is, can't have document. So I'm now just giving a little think about this whole entire thing. I can have just document results, not do any of this. So if I do that, and then I go document equals, oh no, that's not meant to be like that. Thank you very much. Document equals document dot objects dot filter is deleted equals false, but yep, sure. And then we'll just have document. Sorry, we'll have ID in equals document results dot value dot document ID. That will be perfectly fine. And then if we go values, I will need document description URL location. I've got document. Let's go back to the original code. Document key ID. All right, yep. All right. This will be ID, description, URL location, document. And the problem is, I don't think we've got folder in the permissions. No, it's... This will be, and I think we can go document permissions under folder. If memory serves me correctly, we might be able to do that, but I don't remember. So we'll go over here. We'll jump into a shell. Import from NearBeach. Import everything. What we want to do, document. Sorry. We're essentially doing this part of the code, document permissions. So DP equals document permissions dot objects dot filter. I'm just going to go pk equals 1. Sorry, that's meant to be permissions. Don't solve that. All right. pk equals 1. We're just filtering for that. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to go document dot objects dot filter, where pk under in equals d. Piss off. None of my Macs are on at the moment. Fucking hell. dp.values, and then we just need document ID. Now I'm just checking that works. All right, so that works a treat. Then we want to go values, and this is where we want to go document. There we go. Or we want to go URL location. Yep. And then yes. Cannot resolve that. Choices are Oh, it's all lowercase. And there we go. That's how it's done. So, under here, document permission. That wiggly line's going to annoy the shit out of me. And then all I need to do... Alright, for starters... do that. All right, so that should be fine. Say that and it doesn't come back. The fuck? Oh, piss. Fucking logged me off again. Yeah, I have. Activate my pro. Alright. Fucking dick. Oh, an hour and 51. All right. I'm still logged in to the tool set. Fucking Muppets. Sorry, I just hate when that happens for no apparent reason. Alright, cannot access variable document results when not associated with a value. Alright, cool. So we've done something in here. Oh yeah, we've got to copy this, paste it into here. Cool, he's done. Now we just wait. Alright, cannot resolve ID. Choices are change user, date, description, document permission is deleted, purge key, key. And if we have a look at the serializer, yeah, we've got it as key in there. Cannot resolve ID. Cannot resolve URL location document. What? Huh? Tell you what, I'm just going to copy this just in case I have done a typo and I can't see it anywhere. What the fuck? Forgot a comma. Alright, no, that's my bad. That's my stupidity. Alright, got key error when attempting to get a value folder on serializer, document serializer. The serializer field might be named incorrectly. No. Alright, so now we're getting somewhere. So in here we've got this as that large name. Nah, we need to change it. So this is where the annotate comes into play. And we just go folder equals F for the field, document permission under folder. And then we get rid of that. All right. Got the folder on serializer, document serializer field might not. All right, hang on. We haven't put folder in. All right. I'll just put document instead of document serializer for this. Oh, no, then what? Oh, that's the model. Oh my god. Alright. Yeah, alright. Got key error when attempting to get a value for the field folder on the serializer might not be named correctly and not match any attribute on the key dictator. Original exception text was folder. Alright, so it's definitely crashing here. Oh, it's not that one, is it? Oh no, folders. Alright. I'm just going to put a little breakpoint there. We're just going to hit that. We know we hit here. We're just going to hover over this. We're going to open this up. And we're going to right hand click and we're going to copy value. We're going to go back over here. We're just going to go and paste that in. We're going to run selection. And we don't have a folder. All right, so going with this. Yeah, we don't have a folder. Ah, because I'm an idiot, that's why. Forgot to put in folder. I should get rid of that. And there we go. All right, cool. So now we've got the key. That's the document key. We've got the description. We've got the URL location. And we've got the folder. Now, I don't see document in there, which is something we actually do need. Which now reminds me that we won't be, shoot. That's what the document thing is. All right. All right, so one problem is, if we're going to be able to rename stuff in the front end, I don't want to pass that information and use Boto to do all the renaming stuff in the back end and stuff like that. That's just asking for too much trouble. We could probably pull out the fact that you won't be able to rename stuff. That will annoy a lot of people though. But it does then mean that I need... Oh, wait, I don't need to send the real file name to the user because I just need that key. And it's this key that points at that. Yeah, alright, cool. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember everything. The folders might work, they might not at the moment, but we've at least got the list up. So the idea here is when this boots in, it'll start off at the root, and then you can go into the folders. Let's say you click on cat photos or something like that. It'll populate what's there, pop up here, and so forth like that, and you can navigate up and down. Which then means so I'm just having a quick think. Alright, so then means, yeah, that should all be perfectly fine. I can start working with the front end stuff now. So we can start doing the CRUD. We won't be able to do the uploading until I get the these classes built up wherever they've gone. Not the get max uploads, but oh yeah, here we're just past one. So the S3 file handler and the other sort of stuff. I need to get those set up. I mean, I can copy them from here. Yeah, I can get them copied. And yeah, I should be able to... Thing is, I don't know. They will belong in services. All right, cool. Oh yeah. That's a function that will populate over. All right, cool. So I am going to get these two in right now. In fact, so what I want to do. We don't want that under serializer. Under documents, what we want to do is create a new directory and call it file handler. And then do the first one. make sure I'm gonna sneeze. Last week. All right. Ugh, happened again. Thank you, Dans. Hopefully you're, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. So we have a bunch of unresolved stuff at the moment, which is fine. We will try and get that as much done tonight. I think this is the next one, the S3 one. So S3 file handler. So we just paste that in. Once again, we've got a bunch of little stuff that we ought to actually do. That's not a problem. And then we've got a local file handler. And then we've got a file handler. You're good? Oh, that's good. When do I usually stream? What time? All right, so I'm in Australian Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, I'm going to have to give you a math quiz at the moment. It's 9 p.m. right now. I usually stream from my time 6:30 to 10 o'clock. However, I most likely will be finishing a little bit earlier tonight. So, yeah. I should have... I'm just making sure myself is muted. I should have a thing popping up. I'll put this in a different container, one where I'm not logged in. Usually, I did set my schedule in here long time ago, so they might have gotten rid of that functionality. Damn. In which case, I should put my start writing in here, what my schedule is. So, yeah. But yeah, usually 6:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time till 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So, yeah. All right. So this is our basic file handler. And then all we need to do is import it like that. Easy done. Now, path. Oh, what path was that again? No problem. We'll look at the original code and actually find out. Once again, we're just refactoring, hence we're just copying and pasting large swaths of the code base. Oh, was that? There we go. And we need file response. Is that just import OS? I'm pretty sure. Oh no. There we go. It's part of Django HTTP. There we go. So a lot of this, apart from that one, there we go, imported. It's going to be pretty good. Yes, yeah, you can contribute. Currently, we are going through a massive... wrong thing. We are going through a massive sort of refactor, so it's a good sort of time to jump in. And I don't know if you've got ads. Hopefully not. All right, so that's pretty much that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, we'll grab 6 lines here. I know that we're going to have to paste them up in here, so... oops. Oh, I don't need that in here, nor do I need that. All right, cool. I'm going to paste 4. There we go. Ooh, we need blob service client, which is part of the... that one. I'm pretty sure that's meant to be that one. But yeah, that's the basis of the file handler. Now, you'll see in here that we've got file handler equals that. We only have to really deal with this. All right. So document upload is in reality the only place where we want to do it. I'm just going to copy this. We're going to go back to our document service and we're going to paste it into the create section. Not that we're going to break everything and we're all happy and fine with that. All right, straight off the bat, it's got our old... Sorry, I was actually meant to click there and then hit escape. The following function will deal with the upload of the document. First, it will create the user's permission, place the request.post values into a form for validation. Ooh. And Microwave Coffee, how are you? Hopefully you're going well. Alright, so we are using serializers here. I don't know how that's going to work. Now, I've gotten this far. I've just realized, how would you upload anything to an API? And I don't realize why I didn't ask that question before. AGP, you're all good? Oh, that's good to hear. As for the license, I'm not sure AGPL license. Yeah, I'm not the best person to ask about these licenses and stuff like that. I don't know much of the difference between any of them, sadly. So, yeah. Is a free covered left license published by the Free Software in 2007. Yeah, I just don't know. No opinion at the moment. Basically means that you can use it for commercial use, but if you change it, you must publish a modified version to open source. So it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm just not a... I just haven't given it a thought, really. But, yeah. Alright, so we've got the document upload form. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. Django REST framework. Upload file. To upload files, the Django REST framework will probably use the multi-part parser to handle incoming form data containing files. Alright, that's what we want. JSON parser, form parser, parsers HTML form content request.data to be blah, blah, blah. All right, yeah, we're not doing anything in forms. Multi-form file upload parser, parsers raw files. The content. All right, cool. That's what we want. The request data property will be a dictionary with a single key file and an upload file. It'll be used in the file upload parser called file name. Blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. That's kind of what we want. Now this will be not a put. This will be a post. So you post it. Yeah, all right. So I'm getting distracted with my cube. All right, so we can use this. This is not going to be a problem at all. Oh, so I think you're coming on. Oh, trying to brew I out of being overly dependent on AI so far for now. I'm trying to understand your project before contributing. I'm trying to break out. Yep. All right. Break out of overly being. It does. Well, you're on the right track. In the sense that you're trying. Don't worry, AI has been an extremely useful productivity tool for a lot of people and stuff like that. It's good to have knowledge about how the framework works or how a language works. So yeah. My recommendation, try small things. See if you can build small little projects and stuff like that. You'll notice that I use mostly AI for just searching and stuff like that. Nothing against AI. It's just that some of the stuff that I already know, and knowing a lot of different languages, there are sometimes I forget specific things. Like, for example, earlier today, I went Pythonary ternary operations, which I can never spell. And I was like, oops, clicked on the wrong link then because everything's jumping around. Let's just copy and paste that. But yeah, I would also use the AI sometimes to be like, all right, cool, I'll copy that, paste it in, use it as a reference. But yeah, here are my thoughts at the moment on AI. So yeah. And there's nothing wrong with asking a question and having it actually give you, not the code itself, but a potential way of sort of solving it. You just got to sort of look up the code yourself. So, yeah. Alright, so this is a file upload of view. So this is an API view. Not exactly... Oh, in this sort of case, I'm not uploading files. I'm just... No, this will be where I'll be uploading the file. Probably not what I want. Actually, let's have a look at with the document upload. Actually, this will be a good sort of question. This is where I would go Django REST framework, upload a file against the document field, you just hit reload. You get the AI to sort of search it, and you'll be like, all right, cool, there's our models. That's easy. The serialize model, my document, fields. All right, cool. There's the document. And then document view set, query set, yada, yada, yada. Parser classes, multi-part parser, form parser, necessary for the files. All right, cool. So yeah, they were going in about that with the parsers. So I'll need that. All right, cool. Let's try it. I don't know if it'll work tonight, but we can at least try it. So first things first, let's actually go serializer equals document serializer, data request, if not serializer equals valid, return serializer errors and faults. All right, that just gets rid of these old 3 lines. Now I'm just going to jump into here. You'll notice that we've got serializer, we've got the key, description, location, folder. This isn't part of the model view set. So I don't know. Oh, no, that's a part of the doc. All right, cool. Not a problem. Not a problem. So we got all of that, and then what I want is document equals serializers dot file field. And we're going to put required equals false because there's going to be times where you're going to upload a URL instead of a document, which is fine. You're not against AI, and I still am a junior dev. Getting roles is sort of difficult, plus being dependent on AI doesn't help, so you try and rebuild my fundamentals. Do you have... Oh yeah, build small little projects. That's it. Just build things. That's the best way of doing it. The other thing is you'll notice that I will type out a lot of stuff. Sometimes I'll copy stuff for referencing, but then I'll type it out because when I type something out, I kind of remember it better. But that's just me. Yeah, those are my main 2 recommendations. You don't need to build the bestest thing ever. It could be something silly. Alright, so I need to pass the parser classes into the view set now. So if we... Oh, I've got to actually... This is got to go on the project stuff. So we've got the views, we've got the API, we've got the project API. And then in here, I've already forgot parser classes. And then what we want is multi-parser and form parser. Oh, maybe JSON parser. Oh, I don't know yet. Yeah, no, it'll be more like JSON parser and form parser. We'll just... Oh God. I did it again. Pressing space, that's why. Import this name. Yep, REST framework. Import this. Yeah, that'll be that. And then the form parser. Oops. Done. Yeah. We do have a Discord where you can show off your stuff. So that should handle everything. I'm not 100% sure with this multi-parser, but I'm going to keep it in here. We definitely need the JSON because we're going to get people to use JSON to edit the file, edit the data, and so forth like that. Instead of form data. Now, you okay, Socks? You're pacing again. You're pacing. Come on. So in here, we've got the serializer file field, required equals false. So that should be the basic setup of that, which means now I can go to document service, and I'm just answering my phone because, oh no, that's not my partner. All right, don't worry. in here, we're just changing stuff around. So this is going to be very, very close. It'll be serializer dot validated data instead of clean data and stuff like that. Yeah. Oops. Serializer dot validated data. So once again, a lot of this business logic is going to be exactly the same. So if the file size is too large, what we actually want to do is we're going to return and we're going to say file size too large. And we're just going to say false. All right, so the service will send a message and a Boolean status, whether it failed or not. Document description equals that. Yep, that's just going to do that. And then we just need to pass through handle document permission. The good news is I'm just going to put self and self and also serializer dot validated data and then piss off and then parent folder. Sorry, I'm just saying that at the thing. We then just need to send back the document results. So serializer equals document results, and then return back serializer true. So yeah, very similar code to what we've already got. I've been happy with this code. It's been working wonderfully. I just need to import their handle document permissions. Now this might become a thing that stays in this service. Pretty easy to do. So I just need to tell you what, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna use copy and paste instead of reading all the code really fast. Here we go. So this is it. This is just an internal thing. Easy done. We scroll all the way down here. There's a big one. We're just going to go copy. Now there's a couple of things which we might rip out from it. Handle MVZFGH. All right, cool. There might be a few things that we might want to rip out of this. So straight off the bat, we're going to do an underscore to indicate that it's a private method. Now we're passing through self. We will be using self. Request, upload file, document description, destination, location, ID are not needed at all. Folder ID is needed and is profile picture is needed. I'm just going to, actually, I might do that something. And hey, Dante, I'm doing good. Thank you very much. How are you doing? Hopefully you're going well. Socks is also here, trying to sit on my stuff. So I'm just going to go down here. The destination location ID, we don't need to pass through. Yes, Socks. Yes. Thank you. We then just, sorry, Socks, yeah. You just need to do that. Now, another thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get rid of this is profile picture. Now this maybe static. No, it won't be static for very long. Let's just say that. We're getting the request user. We're getting all this. We're getting that. We've got the document key. Where did we key through the document key? Sorry, we document submit. Dot key. All right, cool. Oh yeah, we are using that, aren't we? You're doing all right. Setting up your new your computer. Nice. Got annoyed with Windows to switch up. Fair enough. Fair enough. What have you switched to, if you don't mind me asking? All right. So I'm trying to think here where else I'm going to use this. The handle document permission. Now we do have the ability to use the same method in profile picture uploads and stuff like that. However, that would also mean that I would probably extract this out of here and make it a method by itself, which you can call Linux Mint specifically. Oh, fair enough. I've not used Mint before. I'm just on plain old vanilla Ubuntu. So yeah, it's been a while since I've actually looked at Mint. Ooh, all right. But yeah, good luck with it. But yeah, just learning another operating system is, it just has this little boop at the start. Once you get used to it, you'll be fine. I mean, then again, I have been using Linux for, how old am I? 23 years. Jesus, that hit me hard. Oh, whew, all right. I've been using it for a while. Alright, so down here we just want to do self. We also want to do self. Ooh. Alright. So this new object, it's just a flag. It just tells the system that, hey, listen, sorry, I should give some better context. When a user creates a new object, let's say they go to a new project, and they try and upload a file, we're going to go through this. However, that being said, we're no longer doing that. A user will only create the title and give the group access, and then it creates the stuff. So I'm going to delete that now, because that is old code. And that's fine. That's up there. So yeah, I had issue with 22.3 over the weekend, so I went down a couple of versions. The learning has been fun, but oh, that's good. That's good. I had to learn Mac for my job back in 2019, and coming from Linux, it was a different experience. But nowadays, I'm like, yeah, whatever, Mac, Linux, I'll use them. I don't really use Windows. Yeah. Alright, so this little bit of code can now be replaced by that line there. In the parent folder doesn't equal 0. Yep. Yep, we go through all of this. Now, document permissions. So, we did this one before. Except we're going to do that. I don't know where document submit dot save. All right. That's going to be key equals dot key. All right. Excuse me. Set up here. We'll need to handle this to upload the file. We also need to get rid of that. I don't know why that keeps adding on random freaking brackets every now and then. Do file upload, document alert, success. All right, this is where I'm going to go document permission results, and then we've got document results equals document objects filter is deleted equals false. Easy done. Just done that. Actually, hell no. We got it as document submit. I don't need to do all of that. In fact, I don't need to do any of that now. Handle the file upload. To-do fix. Document submit, document save. All right, cool. We're all happy with that. This then becomes serializer. Serializer. If I can spell, I can't half the times. Document serializer dot document submit. Oh. This is going to be slightly different. Whoa, socks. Jesus. Get the hell out of me. So I'm just scrolling down here. Essentially, we're doing this lovely formula. All right. So, I can't apply an annotate to that because it's directly it's not a query set. Not a problem. Wait. Yeah, it just, we've got to do that. Return serializer and then true. Actually, I don't know what we're expecting back. I did not look at that properly. And this is where I lose. This is where I lose track of everything. Yes. Yep. Hey. Making mistakes. Do you ever get paranoid that someone can steal your code for proprietary code or for forking it? That's if they can read my code. No. Oh. Alright, everyone tell him that I made a really good funny joke when he gets back from the ads. I tell you what, we'll pop on the ad time. There we go. Lean back on the chair a little because this will be the last ad. I'll be wrapping up in about 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm trying to ease my way back into streaming and stuff like that. So, but at least tonight has been productive. Essentially got the folders to an init sort of stage, got the links to an init sort of stage. Now I've just got to get the uploads to an init sort of stage, and we're just going to test the hell out of documentation. So I've got to do the front end. The most important part. So, I should also change the color to the ads. Give me a couple of secs. Yeah, let's open this up. Let's oh, where's the color? Ah, I forgot where that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was a good joke. Anyway, microwave. You went on an ad. I read out your question. I was like, do you ever get paranoid that someone can steal your code for proprietary code or for forking it? To which I said, that's if they can read my code. Which I thought was very funny. And someone else on YouTube, Dante on YouTube, thinks it's funny too. So, yeah. Not really. NearBeach in itself is not popular enough. A lot of people would look at it and be like, a lot more work to sort of bring it up to a point which someone could sell it on. So, yeah. And thank you very much, Dance Man, for the clip. So, yeah. And, Aiden, how are you going? I didn't trip up by your name change today, so, yeah. Yeah, alright, so, getting back into it. I've got the document description. What else do I want? Document results. And reality, I could just get the serializer from it. Yeah, I'm going to simplify this. Now, why doesn't it like document? Okay, we're going to probably change all of these pumping into there. So I just want a serializer pumping out. We don't want any of that. And then, yeah, we just want the serializers coming out like that. You going good? Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I can't complain. Do you think open source is safer than proprietary in this AI context? I know it's used to be that open source is considered safer. I think nothing much has really changed in the sense that, sure, open source had more eyes on it and stuff like that. But at the same time, it depends who those eyes are. With the tools and stuff coming out, I think we're going to have a certain amount of time, and hopefully it won't be too long, where there's just going to be exploit after exploit after exploit just found. And then hopefully after that, it will ease up. More like sort of... Oh, I've got that drawing pad right in front of me. I keep doing this. So, this is time. This is the amount of exploits. I think it'll stay up and then it'll drop off. I don't think it'll drop off that quickly, nor do I think it'll be linear. But this is just me guessing. What I think is, once this comes out, this will be the education section, where we learn where these exploits are, we fix them up, and we teach people not to code like that. And then hopefully it sticks. I saw something about some powerful AI models finding mass security issues in some projects. Yes, Firefox had a bunch submitted a few weeks ago and stuff like that. AI models can catch vulnerabilities even faster with open source, but that can mean it's safer too. It's tough to say. Yeah, that also depends if a user has access to those models too. It's again, Anthropic. Oh yeah, the Mythos. Yeah, this one. I think. Sets of cybersecurity hysteria experts said set was already there. Global banks, tech giants, governments were sent scrambling in the last months containing risks. And the model said to be so powerful that it has found thousands of previous unknown vulnerabilities in the world's software infrastructure, which is kind of amazing considering this time last year a lot of people were complaining about all the AI security slop and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah. The one problem is the capability is already here. Seems scary. Luckily, it's not public yet. Yeah. And that's sadly all I know about it at the moment. Yeah. My proof drew the same diagram in security course. Yeah. When like the internet started to happen, there were a lot of security issues on the internet when the internet was first started and stuff like that. And essentially we just ended up fixing them all. Well, fixing up a lot of them, alright, and creating new ones as you go along and so forth like that. Call me skeptic, I think this is a clever marketing move. Oh, fair enough, yep. Opus would have probably caught most of those, is what I think. Okay, yeah. I wouldn't mind giving it a try. I've used, what was it called? Deep Source a couple of years ago. But that's more of a, now they're at the AI code review and stuff like that. But yeah, I had problems with it, flagging stuff as security issues, even though I fixed it. And ended up putting in a couple of tickets being like, what's the difference between my code and your code? It just got really annoying. I put in comments, and I think that's what threw it off. I put in a comment explaining why I was doing it that way. I was just like, oh. Alright, so going with this. I'm thinking I just pass through the serializer through here. And I think that's it. Alright, fair enough. I won't be on for much longer. So, yeah. Easing back into streaming after being sick. So, yeah. Alright, so. Sorry, I'm just giving a quick think about everything. I'm going to put a couple of to-dos in here. Move variable pass through serializer to remove most fields. Alright, because we don't need as many fields in there. Like we don't need all of those. To do if this is utilized with profile picture uploads, move to an external function. Okay, cool, easy done. Oh yeah, no, I'm better. I'm just easing myself back in because I don't want to, burn myself out so soon. Yeah. Alright, So we'll do this next stream. We also got to connect in Minio again and get that all set up, make sure that's all working. Also, we need to import the file handler. That might be a global. Hate when people use serializers as a server. That's what my colleagues do, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, essentially I'm just using it. So I'll get the data from the client, serialize it so I can use it. And then when I send stuff back to them, I serialize it and just send it. So, man. I understand that you can do a lot more, like you can get it to update, create, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, eh. Alright. So we need to do that. Alright, cool. To do review the fields being passed. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm probably going to call it there. Yeah. Ooh, who do we want to raid tonight? We've got a small stream we can raid. Yeah. Awesome. Alright, anyway, thank you very much everyone for being here tonight. It has been wonderful. I'll stop the music, I'll bring down Swagby. Yep, he's doing games. I'll turn that down. I don't think they're speaking at the moment, but that's perfectly fine. It looks like we've made some leaps and bounds tonight with the documentation, which is going to be great. What I want to do, hopefully this whole week, is to get that finished. That way documentation is done, and then I can move on to the other sections. So yeah. Alright, thank you very much, and yeah, enjoy. And for those on YouTube, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It does actually help. Certainly you won't be able to join us with the raid, but hopefully I'll see you next time. So yeah.